Hello, you guys. You're back here on part 3 with the Wise Woman Way. We're cooking from our Fat of the Land recipe. And this dish today we're cooking is our purple and green cabbage with red potatoes and onions. It is delicious. We use a little meat to season it, but we have a whole lot of dishes without meats. And we have meats too, just a little bit, because there are people who watch this channel who like meat. Anyhow, this is a no judgment zone, so we like to include everybody. Anyhow, this is our finished product of our purple cabbage and green cabbage. Look at that. Red potatoes and onions. This is how it ends. And let me get a taste. I guess my daughter will not mind if I just grab a little out to try out for myself. Look at that purple cabbage. I get a little potato, little onion. Let me get some onion with it. Purple cabbage. This should be delicious. I don't want to burn myself, so let me do this in moderation. Here we go, you guys. This has the perfect seasoning and salt. It's a little spicy, but it's good. And it's not dry, but it's delicious. This is a really good meal. This is a full meal right here. Potatoes and cabbage. What else do you need? Maybe something to drink. We have some fresh squeezed watermelon juice in there that we can have along with this. And then not only that, oh yeah, let me tell you guys too, in our garden in North Haven, Connecticut, we are growing like 6-7 watermelons right now. We can't wait to juice those straight off the vine. It doesn't get no better than that. Anyway, this is what my family used to do in the South, and they brought it up here. When we cook collard greens, and you know, African Americans, just like, you know, Jamaicans cooking their collard greens, African Americans, we all the same people. Well, we cook our collard greens, our mustard greens, turnip greens, cabbage or whatever. You take those big the leafiest greens, which holds the most nutrition. Well, we normally do it with the collard green juice, but today we have the cabbage juice, and I have a little bit of it right here. Can you see that, you guys? All we have to do with this, because of course we did not put any vinegar into our cabbage here, because it wouldn't taste right, you know, with potatoes. Excuse me one moment. Bear with me, as my grandma used to say. Anyway, I have some apple cider vinegar right here I'm getting, because when you do the collard green juice or any juices from the greens, would really make it into that, what we call, excuse my dishes there, I'll get to them. We really call it, look at this, pot liquor. Take and put a little vinegar in there, and this vinegar is good because it helps to, you know, keep your blood thin, you know, vinegar. And so what we'll take and do, we're going to stir it up a little so the vinegar can get in there nicely. So we're going to have us a half a glass of some old-fashioned pot liquor. So pot liquor comes from many different greens, but we were known in the South to drink that pot liquor. It used to be so good, and still is. Some people still drink it today. But anyway, I'm just going to have a little for good health. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's nice. You already know when you eat cabbage. A lot of people think they can't eat cabbage because it makes them run to the bathroom. When in fact, what cabbage do, it cleans out your system. So you put a little vinegar in there with that. your collard greens, that is. You don't want to do it if you have potatoes or some type of noodles. That, people don't put noodles with greens too much. But in this case, with the red potatoes and the cabbage, you couldn't put the vinegar in. So we added some to our pot of juice from what we cooked in. So this also have the potato in it. But you add a little vinegar to it and you have yourself some pot liquor. This is awesome. I will put this in the refrigerator and this will last for a couple of months, if not a year. It'll be drinked up before then. But because you put the vinegar in there and there's already salt in there, what that means as it'll act as a preservator. So you can go in there and drink it anytime you want, but it's good for you and it's healthy for you. So most of the time though, when I cook my collard greens, mustard greens, spinach, or whatever I'm cooking, and I, save my juice from it, it's normally with no potatoes and stuff in it. But I just want to share the pot liquor for those of you who don't know about pot liquor. And yeah, I'm a 60s child. Grew up during the Civil Rights Movement right on Sylvan Avenue in New Haven, Connecticut, where the Black Panthers had their headquarters. Right there where we lived on Sylvan Avenues, and the headquarters was right across the street from my Uncle Charles Warren store. And also, he helped to provide for their breakfast program. So my family have a long history here in New Haven. We've been here since the 40s, living in the hill section of New Haven, Connecticut. My grandmother and my grandparents purchased the house right there on Sylvan Avenue, not far from today's Yale New Haven Hospital. It used to be called Grace Memorial Hospital when I was born in 1962. 2 days just before that missile was launched from Russia and landed a couple of miles away from Florida. And that's where I grew up with that ringing in my head. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. And I never knew where it came from. But that's what was going on in the times when I was growing up. During the Civil Rights Movement, everything was uneasy. And I'm a very feeling person under the Libra skies. And I felt something was going on. I used to watch my mom and everybody, But anyhow, I had an Uncle Otis Hargrove. He pretty much followed Malcolm X and was really into a lot of things that the Panthers were doing in the chapter here in New Haven. That famous trial with Bobby Seals was here in New Haven. It's a lot of history in New Haven. But we grew up in that area, and I was a young child, maybe about 7 years old, marching during the Bobby Seals trial. So I am wholeheartedly a civil rights child from the beginning to the end. So I was able to I'm sorry for going off to other things. It's good news and it's information. But I just wanted you guys to know about, this is what they used to do back in the day. In the 60s, we had the pot liquor and stuff going on. I had all my relatives coming up from North Carolina to New Haven, Connecticut. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to set this pot liquor down. I'm going to get me some red potatoes and some cabbage. And I'm going to have my dinner before it gets too late. If you guys like what I do, what we do, please subscribe. Please support us. We're only asking you to press the button if you like what we do. Please follow us if you like it. And share so other people can get to know us. And press like if you like us. And if so, don't forget to press that bell for, a notification on our next video that's coming up. Because I actually have here in my windowsill an evergreen tomato I've been talking about throughout the year. And with this evergreen tomato, I'm going to fry it. Frying isn't good, but this is just going to be maybe about 2-3 slices because I've been dying to find out what does a evergreen tomato that stays naturally green, how would that taste fried? I already taste the other types of tomatoes that turn red, but I'm talking about an evergreen tomato. Well, anyway, join me on my next video. We're going to find out what it tastes like. And not only that, then we have the video coming up for the cinnamon peach cobbler. Yes, indeed. So you guys stick with me. I thank you for tuning in to part 3, Fat of the Land recipe, the Wise Woman Way hosting it. We are a program under Golden Rules Wellness Mission. There is much work to be done and few hands to help. So please, you guys, support us. And as we always say, be well, practice being wise, and always in any situation, think higher, because it will serve you and serve other people as well. Bye-bye.